Hey folks, Ben here, JJ there. Y'all
help. Shit, things just went ballistic for like 5 seconds.
All right, welcome one, welcome all. Oh, well, he gets discombobulated. We'll get back to it. We got a bunch of people already in the chat, pre-gaming it.
Cheers.
We got first in the chat, as always, Earl. He was in the chat approximately 8 hours ago. He says, what are we drinking tonight? I got a root beer. Then 2 minutes after that, we have brother Aaron, who was in the chat this morning. I don't know if he's here now. We'll see. And then we'll fast forward to approximately half an hour ago, where we got our brother Herb out of West Virginia. Herb at Fireside Studios. Great to see you, my friend. Matt from McCollum Music. We got Lee, who's on the East Coast, I do believe.
Damn.
Josh Tamberg. What's up? Billy Baloney. GAP page 2. Nice. Let's see who else we got here. There's Hip Metalworks.
Rock on.
Love Hip. Let's see who else we got here.
I see Symmetry there. Yeah, brother.
Brother Trev. There's Chris, unbelievable himself. Guitar Man 45. What's up, Bo? Got to meet Bo's son yesterday on a Zoom hang. So I was trying to learn some Petrucci stuff.
Wow, that's easy, isn't it? Jeez.
Great. Well, Bo, he's got shit going on, JJ. He himself is coming out of retirement, putting the band back together, starting his own venue in Michigan as well.
Right on. Let's go.
Hardcore. It's the voice of Cornhole. What's up, Donnie? I think he's still in Aruba.
That's where I was like 6 weeks ago.
Nice.
Awesome place.
Paul McNary and the Cats. We got BC Rich 581 from hot and muggy Maryland. Hey, there's Charles 75N, who didn't have a show today, and a fella texted him this morning, hey, no show today? He still hasn't replied. I'm expecting him to reply on the text in about 4 minutes, because to let me know. But that's fine.
I don't know you 812.
I don't even know if he's live or anything, There's Trev. There's the Hobo Roadie.
Good.
And Michael Kroos. And Dastardly Dave. William De Silva. Oh, new name. General Admission. Love it. Sure. Love the name. Young Mr. Alex Radford's in the house.
Yeah, Alex. Welcome, boy.
James Hawking. Good to see James. Wayne McConnell. There's Ryan. Host of the Ryan channel. The Ryan channel. Oh, you 812 channel. And crew. He's the chief crew herder thing.
Yeah, those guys are cooking, man.
Well, there, yeah. No show today. Just got the text from Charles. No show 8 hours ago. Good to know, Charles.
Where does Charles live again?
He lives just outside of Austin, Texas.
Okay, nice.
All Dave, all night.
Rock on all Dave, all night.
Eddie Fay.
Eddie Fay, nice.
Arf. We got Blue Mox in here. Who else we got? Lawrence Cash of Alaska. Mark's Gas Station. I got to catch up here. I thought it was Octopus. I thought I recognized the avatar.
Zach Thong, what up, brother? Rock on.
I thought I recognized the avatar.
Hell yeah. Right on.
There's R2, R3 Locky Nut. Legend.
Octopus has changed his name. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, now he's General Admission. Well, he used to be the Magic Man. And I liked Magic Man.
My family are going to get confused. I'm going to say Octopus is coming down, and they know his name is that. So now they're going to get confused.
And, of course, Zach Thong. What's up, Zach?
I call him Mr. Fingers, man. Boy, that guy can play. Octopus is. He's got a great touch. Serious.
Apparently, he's into semi-hollow bodies now. That's his latest thing.
What's he calling his shop? He's always selling gear.
There's Christopher Lysova. What's up? Nice. Oh, yeah, we're here hanging out. If you want to ask anything, you can add us.
Go B. Hell yeah.
you're a member, you do the member milestone to stand out, or you super chat, or send me a question through the virtual tip jar, which hey, Michael B. One of the OGs. Michael B.
No doubt.
And of course, yes, the virtual tip jar is always open, folks. Open all night. Up there for convenience factor. And point of sale service. All right, easy. Why? Oh, yeah, it's where Charles messaged me 2 minutes ago. That's fine. Thanks, Charles. Yeah, by the way, folks, Charles doesn't have a show 8 hours ago. There you go. We're caught up. Charles Green, though, had a show today. That was a bunch of fun. Let's talk about he went to see Sammy Hagar there with Michael Anthony and Satch and Jason Bonham. That's who it was. Best of both worlds. They're calling that tour or something like that. I don't know. Had good seats. Looked good. He said sound was terrible where it was. Where it was though. Hey, there's R5 himself.
I've seen some clips. It is what it is. Yeah, rock on, Quentin.
Randy Price in the chat. Marsha Murray. That Randy Price, man, he can play. Ooh. Voice Cornhole says, JJ, Fanta or Sunkissed? Ooh. Can't get Sunkissed in Canada.
Which ones now?
What do you prefer, Fanta or Sunkissed?
Oh, Fanta all day long. Yeah. The Mexican one where it's the OG. Ideally, Fanta grape flavor is the king, but very, very difficult to get. It's like freaking
That's hard to find. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get it online and it's super expensive. Like 12 packs.
Fanta pineapple in Canada, and we don't need it. I'm not a fan of the Fanta pineapple.
Yeah, grape's the bomb, man. I love it. But Fanta all
says, let's go into real business. Where did JJ get that green Les Paul he had up at the beginning? Never. Oh, on the thumbnail. That was a custom shop.
Yeah, funny. I checked that when you put that thumbnail up there. That was like a special custom run at NAMM.
Yeah.
I wish that was mine. What year was that? That NAMM?
That was 2019, I think.
Yeah, and I think it was $7,500. That one. That back then was $7.5 G.
Yeah. On the other hand, Bo there, Guitar Man 45 recently got himself a Murphy Lab Les Paul. So,
beautiful.
Yeah, it hasn't arrived yet. He put down payment on it. Hey, it's Joe McGraw. What's up, Joe?
Charles, thank you, brother. You rock.
Fanta Apple. I've never had Fanta Apple, Randy. I'll have to check that out.
No, I've never even seen that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the OG, man. I love it.
Oh, thank you, Charles. Put a link to JJ's channel in here. There we go.
No, a whole lot happening on it. Got to upload some stuff, man.
Sova says, did someone say show gummy? All right. I'm down, Sova. I got one left in this pack, so might as well go for it.
Yeah, I did some mushroom gummies the other day. They were naughty.
Haven't seen those around here yet. I'm curious.
They're legal here now, so. They got them in the vape stores right in front of you when you buy your freaking vape. They got mushrooms everywhere. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah. But the gummies are good. I figured they'd work a bit like the weed one. Just take one, see how you feel.
Exactly.
But yeah, I got a pretty, and I ain't no wuss with that. I got a pretty good peak on like a 20-minute peak on one gummy. I'm like, damn. Yeah.
Well, there's 50 milligrams, folks.
Here, Eddie Fay is California, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, Orange County, California.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous right now. It's like freaking 80 degrees. It's actually becoming irritating.
Lately, it's been hotter here than there.
Yeah, but it's a nice 80, with the breeze. It's not humid.
Yeah, here it's all humidity and no breeze. And
yeah.
Bo says, okay, I'll take a gummy, but I'm not restringing the 12. So, Bo recently decided to start imbibing in the gummies. Okay. So his kids bought him a 200 milligram gummy. So during Trev's birthday hang show, he ate the 200 milligrams and then he's trying to tune a 12 string. And I'm like, well, fuck, I got to send you the link because you got to do that on camera.
Did he smoke weed before or is he just like straight into that gummy?
He did before, but not in a while.
All right. Yeah. 200's a good hit. I mean,
yeah,
you're right.
I don't even
know you can lay down and go to sleep. It's night, isn't it? 200 milligrams.
Right. Let's see, Donnie, the voice of Cornhole is asking, what's that orange amp? That's
a cabinet.
212 cab.
I was thinking about when we gave my wife's aunt. We were in Hawaii on vacation, and I met this guy. I landed. I didn't have no weed. I met this guy at the resort. I walk outside to check out the view on the beach and whatever, and there's a guy there smoking a joint. I'm like, straight away, I'm with my kid. I'm like, you smell that? He's like, yeah. And so I went over to the guy, and he'd bought way too much. He didn't even realize. He was some big weed guy, and he's on Instagram, got like freaking hundreds of thousands of followers. They make these skits all about weed and dress up. It's like full production. I was like, damn, this guy's, he's on fire. And he showed me the picture. He got on the plane and he thought he'd left this bag in his car, the parking lot, and he had his bag inside the other bag, and he's got a picture of him on the plane seat with like freaking quarter pound or something. And yeah, he ended up hooking me up, and he gave me this massive bag of weed and all these little bags of gummies. And he had these gummies with mushrooms and gummies in them. It was like a combination of THC and mushrooms. We gave one to my wife's aunt, and she was in the elevator. She pressed to go up in the elevator and was standing there for like 5 minutes, wondering what's going on. And she hadn't pressed up. And she came back into the room just tripping tits. It was brilliant. Yeah, I just remember that, man. Yeah, just be careful with that stuff. I couldn't believe how high I got off one gummy of the mushrooms.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bo says JJ would like it here. Yeah, I'll tell you off air, JJ.
Where's here?
Well, in Michigan, but specifically at Bo's house. There's some stuff going on.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. No, it's a free for all here. It's crazy.
What's up, Cheech? Cheech is here. He says, "You like orange amps?" Right? Who doesn't?
Yeah,
Sean
who doesn't?
Here.
I've never owned an orange amp. But I love it. I was going to say when the first little ones came out, was it the Tiny Terror? I don't know, the 15 watters.
Yeah, the first Terror, the Tiny Terror, the Micro Terror.
Dude, I plugged that thing in Guitar Center. I love that thing. I never got one. Ended up jumping to someone else, but that thing was freaking dope. I love the orange sound. Yeah, you can't read the freaking instructions on the panel. I still can't. You look at the panel, you're like, what the hell is that?
Mike's joining in, going for a brownie, and Billy says, I've got enough bad habits. I don't need to throw mushrooms. Yeah, you do, Billy. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, the Rockerbird 100, of course. I mean, that's ridiculous. Probably the Mark 1 and 2 were pretty badass as well.
Yeah.
I saw a good thing on, I think it was Steve Fryette talking about the orange amps. And when they switched from, I think it was the late 70s and the early 80s, they switched how they lay them out interior, the inside. So they didn't, before they were robust, you could freaking drop them downstairs. They were full Touring amps. And they switched some in the late 70s. And he said it didn't necessarily change the sound, but it made them very brittle and very delicate. So taking them and gigging them was always real touchy.
Right.
But the early ones, he said, were monsters. Yeah.
It's not best.
Same with the fucking the orange cabs. I mean, they're so freaking heavy, but man, there's something with the orange cabs. You can have a Marshall cab with V30s and an orange cab with V30s, completely different tones. Yeah.
Joe McGraw says, my son told
me. Don't get me started on guitars. I'm telling you, and amps. Don't even get me started.
Right. William De Silva says, orange Thunderverb. Yes, please. Yeah.
Dude, any of the orange. I mean, they didn't make a clean amp, did they? They were all distorted amps with clean tones.
Joe says, my son told me about the mushroom gummies. It's been many years for me doing shrooms, but he said it's very inspirational when playing. That's my boy. Yep. Yeah, I like that, Joe.
Good. Yeah, again, I was just like tripping on taking one, but I definitely highly recommend.
That was a guitar that we found at NAMM. JJ doesn't own the guitar.
Oh yeah, that was the question. That was the question, wasn't it?
We were trying to figure out how we could get it out of there, but no. And there's Mayhem. I saw you were blowing up
green. My favorite color is green, so it was always going to. I beeline for that freaking guitar.
I was a little busy, as you know. He says, broke my left hand Saturday. Have either of you broke a hand? I have not. The closest I came with, I sprained a wrist. But thankfully, nothing broke.
Dude, I'm a mechanic. I've come close to freaking some gnarly things.
Yeah.
I sliced a tendon here, so my thumb, I can't straighten my thumb. So for many years, and there was no feeling in it. So for like the guitar went on the wall. If I held a pick, it would fall out my fingers. I couldn't grip it because the thumb wasn't feeling. It was really bizarre. And one day,
a couple of fingers once, and so made two middle fingers on this hand.
Dude, I sliced it. I was doing I was changing a lower unit on an outboard in the water, freaking ridiculous, and sliced the whatever it is. And the thumb just collapsed, and that was that. So, but I fought through it, and it took a long time. But now it automatically holds. It's like
Terry?
But yeah, that was the worst it got. But I'm very careful with my hands. Sometimes I nail them, and I'm like,
Terry's here, and Patrick Traits is here.
Terry, what's up, brother?
What's up? He says, why in 2024 can we not buy Ludes? At 71 years old, I still remember a pill just to feel good.
I don't even remember. I always remember the name from back in the day, but I don't even know what it was. That was the downer, wasn't it? It was uppers and downers. Ludes were the downers.
Yeah.
Quaaludes.
Yeah, they were pretty much out by the time I was about 6 years old. So,
and they mother's little helper in some way, weren't they?
I think there was supposed to be originally a sleep aid, but if you decided not to go to bed after taking one, cool things could happen. That was
especially with a couple of Jack and Cokes.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of how I've treated Valium over the years myself.
God. Yeah, F all that, man.
The voice of Cornhole asks, what is that Cobra Blue metallic guitar behind you?
What? Oh, yeah? Cobra Blue. I mean, they're all... Dude, I've got a seriously lineup of blue here right now. Cobra Blue.
I think that would be...
This one? Is that Cobra Blue?
No.
What is Cobra Blue anyway? That's an Ibanez.
That would be two to the left of that one, I think, is Cobra Blue. I could be wrong.
That's the what's that color? The Miami Blue.
Miami Blue.
Miami Blue Strat. American Pro 2. This thing's freaking insane.
Broke his right hand last year. That's right.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I guess the color's kind. It's that it was colored after the Porsche color.
He says
Miami
Blue. The green one. My eyesight's not that well.
Even with glasses.
Michael Chris says, next name may suggest wearing a large overcoat. Yeah, but they got security and metal detectors and such.
Miami Blue. It's funny. I took a picture of a Porsche because it's identical color to match it. But dude, this thing's beautiful.
Billy Baloney also misses Ludes. All right, well there we go. And then Bo, not speaking from experience, says Ludes were a 70s thing, and then we moved on to that white powder stuff.
Yeah. I still can't. What would today's version of a Lude be? Who knows? Some kind of like downer. Valium, I guess. No, but Valium was around for years.
I don't know.
Yeah, not my thing. I like to go fast.
Yeah, as much of a downer, I just weed. That's it.
There's Terry going on about his side. I go, dude, yeah, that's been gnarly, man. I've been blessed with my back. As hard as I've worked and done everything, I was never stupid in jobs. And like people would be like, hey, give me a hand to lift this freaking 200-pound, 300, you know. I'm like, no, there's a forklift over there. That's why we have it. And I had my friends hurt themselves at work, but I never did.
We're getting some options coming in here. Okay. Adderall.
Yeah, well done for getting better. I know you were down.
I don't think Adderall. Benzo. Okay. Benzo seems to be the common thing. Yeah. I've been on those.
Benzo, man. Everyone knows what's up in the chat.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what's up.
I like that too, Blue Mox. Great name for a guitar color. Just cocaine white.
God, that is a great name. Yeah. It would have that pearly kind of essence to it, wouldn't it?
Not that we know in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. Eddie Van Haskell in the house.
Oh, no.
Nice. Got a good crowd in here tonight.
Good people. A lot of names I don't recognize, but hello to everyone. I'm JJ, James. A guy called dude.
Somebody just gave her
Sinner. Sinner. He gave me my name. Remember Sinner?
I do.
Yeah. Bless you, Sinner, wherever you may be.
He's into collecting action figures now.
He always was. Yeah. Ibaj. Yeah, there's a name I know. Yeah, Sinner was fucking dope, man. They had a channel called Metal. Come on, Ben, help me out.
Let me think.
Him and Adam EVH was a killer channel.
Metal Stage? Something?
Metal Stage. Yeah, Metal Stage.
Metal Stage. Our Metal Stage?
No, it was Metal Stage. That was it. Pretty sure.
I thought there was another
Yeah, but Sinner, he gave me the name JJ's House of Jams one day. I'm like, that'll do. That's my son's name.
I believe that was in Connects with Guitars show chat that happened.
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah, a lot of things have happened on your freaking channel. Be it Nerd Halen to God knows what. Yeah.
Right.
Hello, Eston Ray. Rock on.
I like that, Eddie. Lake Scugog Green. Yep, that works. There's Ferd Burfel. You're awake. Hey, the important thing is you woke up, Ferd. That's the important thing.
Yeah, let's hit that thumbs up. There we go.
That's right. Thank you, Sean.
It is done. Fuck, I sucked that drink down, man. I'm going to have to make another one. I went on a special trip just to get some booze for this. I'm not a big drinker, but I do like to have a couple of drinks on the old channel, you know what I mean?
I get it.
Hey,
I don't judge.
Hey.
I don't judge.
Why not? All right, fuck it. I'm going to go and get a refill.
You go get a refill. I'm going to peruse the chat here in case I miss somebody joining in here.
Right back, my brothers.
I think if we got everybody. Oh, wait. Who was that? Scrolling back. Tom Lyle. I didn't actually call you and say hello by name. Sup, Tom? Oh, I'm going to sit up because my back's stiffening up myself. Well, that'll do it, because of all the humidity in the air and stuff. So, how's everyone doing? Like, share, subscribe, comment. Zach is Fish Lake Scugog. That's good. I have not. I've driven by it.
You got me cut. Richie's taken over. Tell him what's up, Richie. Tell him what's up.
Hello, Richie. Richie? Not even paying attention to me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's it. All right. Yes, Charles is in here. He's lurking away. I don't know. He never gave a reason for missing his show today. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, depression or sickness. I didn't even know if a fellow was alive until I saw him in my chat this evening. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, like the Motorhead, right? Rock and roll. Yeah, rock and roll. You have to miss album covers tomorrow, Billy? Oh, is that part of the physio training thing? I'm curious. So we got some good album covers. Well, you can always watch on replay, but it's not the same. I know. It's not the same.
My co-host bailed on you. Damn. Here we go. Look. Jack Daniels with real Pepsi.
Oh.
They call this one Soda Shop. This one's got the sugar in it.
With the good cane sugar, so it's like the equivalent of the Mexican Cokes.
Yeah, it's the same deal.
I'd go for some of that. Charles says today is the only show we made today. And Billy, you're driving to Canada tomorrow. Are you immigrating or just what are you doing? You're on vacation? Why you come on up to Canada? I'm just curious. You have family up here, don't you? Up here. He's in Cleveland. It's not really an up. It is up, but it's much lateral. Vacation. All right. Well. I personally would have. Well, the south just gets hotter this time of year, so all right, touche. Vacationing in Canada. Sure. You did that last year when you came up for Cosmo Fest, which doesn't even exist on the Cosmo Music website anymore. It's their little version of like Gear Fest, JJ, right? It was such a crap fest last year. I go on their website this spring to see when this year's one is. All reference to that event that happened for several years gone from the website.
I remember the first one that happened. Yeah, you go every year. That's where you met. That's where you met Zach, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Brother Aaron.
Yes. What's up, Aaron?
That's right,
yeah, brother.
Has furnished room available for any of us.
Symmetry. Throwing down.
Yeah.
All right, let's all show up at once.
Right.
Name the date. We'll do a show. When's that happening?
Exactly. He's right just outside of Vancouver.
We'll come up there at some point. I'd love to come to Canada on vacation, take the family.
Right.
My boy's hustling me to go to New York. He said it last night. He goes, we need to go to New York. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. That's a fun place. You been there, Ben?
Never been.
24 hours, man.
I meant to. The plan was to go hang out at Nesdall's for a week. Have them show me around, but unfortunately,
Bless
that
you,
never.
Dave. Bless you, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only guy I ever saw drop a Les Paul, and it was fine. On a live stream, no less.
Dude, I dropped my Les Paul so many times. I mean, probably dozens, and it always hung in there, man. I mean, stupidly dropped it where it's bounced and just like, fuck, it's got to be broken. You just sheepingly walk over to it.
Right.
Damn.
Great. Bo's going to see Pete Thorne next month. He's playing with Five for Fighting.
Oh, right on. They're back out. Nice. Yeah, he does that tour with them, doesn't he? Nice.
Yep.
That's dope.
Aaron says, JJ, I see you guys are back at the whiskey. That rules, my dude. And how's the new recording coming along? I played New York City 3 or 4 times.
Right on. Yeah. Yeah, we're ready to rock, man. Yeah, I played New York City a couple of times. That's why I love it. Yeah, we recorded in New York once as well, which was freaking awesome. Yes, everything's good. We got a show coming up at the Whiskey in August.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 24th with Jesus Jones. So that's going to be killer. I think we're main support as well. Yeah, so that's always a good one at the Whiskey because they start the bands early there, man. You're in and out of that freaking place.
I was a big Jesus Jones fan back in the day.
Oh, they had their hit. I think it's going to be a busy show. I think they'll bring the European crowd, freaking everyone. We're just
right.
Hey, dude, they called us, man. When the Whiskey called you to do a show, you're stoked. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, like, fuck yeah.
Donnie says you could barely ride the Harley here in Boston. Too hot for traffic. No doubt.
Yeah, it's
I know, right? The look on my face when Dave dropped the LP because I'm like, what do you say to that? I thought I just witnessed a car wreck.
I was in Palm Springs a couple of weeks ago, and it was 126, man. It's fucking nuts. Yeah, it was crazy.
What's up, Noise Bloom? Good to see you. Michael B says, I dropped one on a stand, broke, 100% brake record. There you go.
Yeah, the only guitar I've ever broken, I had an acoustic, and I set it. I have all my shit piled in the garage, and I set it under the door, just sitting there. We were hanging out front or something, and I walked in, I pressed the garage door to close, and it just came down right on the neck and just snapped it all to pieces. I was gutted. That's the only time I've broken one.
Aaron says, our next gig is at the Forge, August 14th. Saw Everclear there, so that's a nice little bucket list venue.
Nice.
Well, see, that's the opposite of Bo is going to see Pete Thorne play at a venue that Bo used to play at. So So we're the same but different. There we go. And a couple people were asking that the band of JJ's band's name is Star Zero. If maybe one of the mods can put a link to Star Zero's YouTube channel in here. They got a bunch of music videos there. There's Fruitcake Tony, host of Show Me Your Pick, as well as Halenville. And apparently hanging out with Charles Green at Sammy Hagar-based concert venue things. Made the drive down to Charlotte.
Boys, we're just hanging out. Come on, then.
The Star Zero Vivo channel, guys.
Oh, yeah. Okay, buddy. All the freaking crew coming in, man. All my animals. Freaking nut house. There's a zoo around here. 2 dogs, a cat, and a chameleon. Freaking craziness. There he is. Look.
Crazy. I tried to get the cat to come inside, but she apparently finally hunted something after I razzed her about hunting anything, Charles. That was the inside joke. She's eating something under the deck and did not want to come inside. So I'm like, I'm not dealing with that right now.
Yeah, we rescued a cat. It was found in a field. And yeah, my kid's buddy called us, said, do we want it? And he was probably like 10 days old, if that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we got him. We've had him like a month now. He's just awesome. Loves the dogs. They all hang out. It's complete chaos.
Nice.
Fruitcake Tony, what up, brother? Rock on.
My sister found a kitten across the road from her place in the field. It was living in the culvert, like in the ditch.
Oh, man.
And she would have kept it, but she already had 3 cats, and one of which just had 5 kittens. So she already has 8 in the house currently.
Yeah, but she didn't leave it there, did she?
No, we ended up taking it to Humane Society.
Yeah.
And then they're all giving her like the dirty look, like, "What? You can't take care of it?" She's like, "I already have 8 at home," and they're like, "Oh, okay."
Nice.
How many new songs have you guys tracked with Cam this time? Aaron's asking.
Dude, we're 9 songs, so yeah. I mean, this is basically finishing the album. We did 6 with him, and now this time around it's 9. So
Wow.
we're gonna have 15 songs to make the actual album. I mean, that's the whole goal, is to finish a freaking album.
That's like double album territory when you get up to 15.
But it kind of is an album with some bonus tracks. I mean,
Right.
they're all freaking bangers. So, you know, I mean, we'll see how it works. But this time around, 9 songs, all new songs. You know, a year and a half of grind. We share a rehearsal room with another band. It's ours, so we can be there whenever. So I basically said to the guys, man, because we were ready for the studio. And I said to the guys, I said, you know, when we've been playing these freaking 9 songs for a year and a half, getting ready for this, you know. So that's because they're tripping on how tight it is and everything. I'm like, well, dude, what do you expect? 9 songs for a year and a freaking half, grinding it, you know. And then we did a little bit of pre-production with Cameron towards the end. He came to the rehearsal a few times just to kick us a bit more into shape and arrangements. Stuff like that. But yeah, 9 songs, dude. And yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Not everyone was tripping on 9 songs. They're like, James, are you sure? I'm like, dude, it's fucking 30 minutes. What's the difference? When you're ready, you go and do them. Yeah. It's a bigger commitment, 9 songs. We're realizing that. We're like 5 days in the studio now. All our gear's still there. So this was always no rush. Last time we were in, we had a week. And this time round, it's like, we're going to do it as needed. Right. And if we need to redo anything, we redo it. It's fucking, yeah, it's naughty. We're psyched, man. Thank you, Aaron.
Nice.
Yeah, 9 songs is a lot to take on. I'm tripping on it now. But right now, we're 4 songs are done with vocals. And we've got, 2 more done, complete guitars. So we've got freaking, I think, 3 more to do guitars and 5 more vocals. Yeah, so probably, I mean, the way it's going, it's probably going to be like 10 days, something like that, 10 more days.
Nice. What's up, Mark?
So hopefully back in this week. Carrying on, yeah.
Mark Taft in the house, folks.
Blue Marks, fucking thank you, brother.
Right?
You guys are going to trip on this new stuff. I'm just so psyched. It's next level. If you're into Alice in Chains and Soundgarden and fucking 90s shit, that's what we do.
Right.
You know, there ain't no twist. 90s
and
producer.
do it well.
Yeah, we're 90s, man. I fucking can't get out of that mold. Same freaking goatee I always had.
Why change?
So I tell you what I've been using in the studio.
No. What have you been using in the studio? Thank you for the tip and the tip jar.
Right now. So yeah, it's been awesome. Here we go. So I've been using my main tone. There's 2 guitarists in the band. So Billy, he's pretty much been going through a Soldano Avenger for all his tones, and I'm using my 79 Marshall JMP vertical input, and also Randall RG100, the dime bag amp for them thick crushing tones. That thing's been amazing. And then for the cleans, 2 Princetons in stereo. Yeah, nice.
I love it.
I'm
all about the Princeton circuit. I got to get a Princeton.
They're my amps. One's an original 68 and one is a 68 reissue, which is super dark, but the original one's super light. And it just, the 2 in stereo is just, it's ridiculous. And with a rat through them, with a rat pedal, geez.
Nice.
Yeah, we've got some mental tones going.
I just got a donation from Michael B in the virtual tip jar. He's talking about reminiscing of old late night Sunday night hangs back in the day. It's like, yeah, we used to do a few of those on the channel, and I remember that's how Michael B got hooked on the channel, because he was working late night and he kept checking in, and he's like, "You guys are still live?" Because we would go 4 or 5 hours sometimes on here. Crazy. We're younger than folks. Who knows? Might do it again. Bo says he's never played through a Randall. What? How has Guitar Man 45 never played through a Randall?
Dude, you'll trip on the Randall. The dime bag amp, the Randall original RG, full transistor, about as close to tube, especially the feel under the fingers, but they have a certain sound to them.
They punch.
Dude, insane amps. Yeah,
they punch.
People know what they are though, so you can't get them cheap. You can get the little combos cheap, the 1x12s. You find them for $200-300 all day long, but the heads, which is the same freaking head, there ain't no difference.
Aaron points out he did the 2 Princetons in stereo on the first EP. He borrowed Marsman 64 Princeton, and he had a modern 12-inch reissue. And that's what I've been using for basically every demo in the last year. For me, is I discovered Princeton's, and then the one currently, it's Tweed Princeton with the Cannabis Rex speaker in it. Oh, it just sounds amazing.
The only downside is the volume. That's it. I mean, for a full band, a heavy band with a hard hitting drummer, you ain't going to cut it with the Princetons. Mic'd up, you are running them through a cab. You're going to get some extra oomph. I mean, what are they? 12 freaking watts, you know? But
yeah, they're not.
Dude, 2 of them, it's almost giggable. I want to take them to the room and check them with the band, because it is the freaking sound. Your cleans with a good distortion pedal, an OCD. I mean, the original OCDs were that, or a original rat. Freaking A, dude. I mean, it's just squelch under your fingers, and just the distortions are just insane. But the cleans, oh my God.
Yeah, I'm all about stacking. I like the LPD Dutch, which is like a Timmy into a Princeton, but also the Nobles. Ooh, I'm all about that Noble sound. Thanks, Uncle Larry. You spoiled me.
Yeah, I've been, I'm out of my phase of like a crazy nutcase on pedals, even though I've still got a lot of pedals. But yeah, I really want an original Nobles. Yeah, I'd have to get the original. I wouldn't be able to sleep unless it was the original.
The only reason I didn't go down that rabbit hole. What's up, Ben? Was I picked up the Keeley Noble Screamer, which one side's the Nobles, one side's a tube Screamer, and you can interchange. But it was watching the demo that included Tom Bukovac, and I know how
Uncle Larry, dude. If Uncle Larry says that's the one, man.
Well, what it was, JJ, it was B-roll, and he's noodling along, and Robert's tweaking on the pedal board, right? And he goes, "Which one is that? Is that that's the Nobles, right?" And he goes, No, that's mine." He goes, "Oh, really?" And that was like just B-roll at the very beginning of the demo. And as soon as I heard that, I went, "So I don't even have to see the demo. I don't have to hear the demo." If he was confused as which is which, because he had one of his modded ones on the board next to it. I was like, damn. Oh, breaking news. Dan in New Jersey reports in. After 5 years, 11 months, I finally got my King of Tone. Nice.
Not a King of Clone.
We did meet up last year at Long and McQuaid at Customer Appreciation Day. Zach brought in 2 of his acoustics. They're quite nice.
Yeah, my buddy got his King of Tone. He bought it for like $300-400 and sold it for like 7 or 8. He got it fully loaded. Yeah, he ended up getting a King of Clone, which he loves. Funny, for like freaking $100.
Through Tesi Switch, he sells those, I think.
The King of Clone or the King of Tone?
King of Clone.
His own.
It's made by 68 Pedals.
There's a couple of King of Clones. There's the original King of Clone. There's another couple of brands.
Yeah, there's one that, Rob,
my buddy, he's all about edge of breakup. So he used it for edge of breakup. That's his whole thing.
Right.
So it's low gain, edge of breakup.
I'm all about just stacking gain.
Tweed amp.
I may end up with a lot of gain, but it's because I'm using 3 or 4 pedals at once.
Yeah.
Bo says instead of Princeton, use a 62 Fender Deluxe. It's not the same. Yes, that's what Nugent used. So does Lips from Anvil. He runs 2 Deluxes with hitting them with a SD1.
Dude, I had a 78 Pro Reverb, which was incredible, but so loud. But God, the tone was amazing.
Right.
Yeah. There's no Fender.
He says maybe I should do my yearly check of the King of Tone waiting list. I've been about 4 years now.
That's what my buddy does. He just puts his name on and sells the freaking pedal. He's that dude. Plays it for a couple of months and sells it on, makes some money. He's just writing down a name.
Right. I haven't even wanted any new gear other than a Princeton. That's basically that, and I want a nice, I want a Les Paul, but I made the mistake of playing Murphy Lab, and now I'm ruined for all Les Pauls, JJ. It sucks. I can play custom shop Les Paul now, and I'm just, meh. Feels like, boy. It's like, yeah.
That's how I was with Fenders. I got a crazy Fender kick, a Strat kick.
Right.
And I got a custom shop in my hands, and that was it. I couldn't freaking think. Nothing touched the custom shop, unfortunately. It's just so freaking good.
I get it. Yeah, I played there's just one over at the store there too. It's like a 63 reissue in shell pink, mint green guard. And I was like, oh, come on. Lightly relic. Just played in. The neck just felt perfect.
Yeah, so killer.
Oh. Well, that was the problem with the Murphy Lab. As soon as the guy handed it to me, as soon as my hand went around the neck, I went, yep. This is the best. 7.5 pounds, 0 weight relief.
Wow, that'd be awesome. Solid guitar. Wow.
Solid guitar, super light resonant wood.
With those high level guitars, they pick the wood, don't they? So like even the Fender custom shops are nice and light. They're not crazy, like around 7. You know what I mean?
Yep, it's the best of the best.
We had a.
Well, that's what I'm hoping, Bo. I can find a standard that'll fix my itch, but it's finding the right one. I found one last year, but I was already elbows deep in Explorer World, so I couldn't afford it. That was 2 P90s in a tobacco burst. That was amazing. But not the budget at the time.
I went to a guitar show. I went to a guitar show yesterday. It was called the OC Vibe. It was like a vintage guitar show.
Okay.
Like a one-day thing. Yes, I saw our friend Sean Pierce Johnson there.
Oh, yeah.
He's always, and it was small, and we sat and watched. Phil X did a big thing there, and this huge freaking arena. It was just him and like 60 people sitting in one little bracket of the chairs, and he put on his full show and all his gibber gabber. It was a great time. Yeah, it was a cool show. But they had some nice guitars there. I was looking at the Strats. They had like probably 10 total, 60 Strats and 50 Strats original. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was nice to see them and hold them. Really nice. Yeah, telling you. Those vintage ones are something else. When they're clean and they're just like kind of used and not completely beat to hell.
Right. Yeah.
But 35 grand, you know what I mean?
There's a mojo to them, but yeah, it's hard to
crazy ass mojo to them.
Yeah.
That was a cool show. But the one thing I did see, which got me, was a what's the BK Butler tube driver?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, guy wanted $300 for it, but it didn't happen. But I kept thinking about that one. That was the one thing I should have offered him something. But yeah, you ever played through one of those?
I have not.
They're really nice with a real tube in them. They're beautiful. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they got a good feel to them under the fingers.
Voice Cornelius, horrible question, but if I was to buy one guitar as wall art, what would it be? Well, since you don't actually play guitar, I recommend one of my favorite guitars. So when I come over, I have something to play on. But I
just get a poster of Angus Young, man.
I don't know. Whatever one of your favorite guitar players, whatever he played, get one of those. And hopefully it's something I like, so then I can play it when I come over.
Or get a guitar and pick it up and start trying to play it. That'd be cool.
There we go.
It's never too late to play guitar, man. Learn guitar.
That's right.
From what I've seen, being in the communities, people are freaking like a year in. They're like doing really good, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not everybody started as a teenager.
Yeah, right on guitar 45. I said, get an Angus Young poster.
Or Ace Frehley. I got a few Ace Frehley posters in my room growing up.
Yeah, Richard Clark saying 250. I was hoping to get maybe 200 or trade a couple of pedals. But yeah, he wanted 320 for it. I'm like, it was super clean. I don't know if it was version 1 or version 2. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed I didn't haggle it.
Wow. Hobo just got a rack tube driver for 200 with shipping.
Nice. With a real tube in it. Oh, tell us what it is.
Michael Cress says, I recommended Dane Electro so Ben never tries to play it. Hey, now. Yeah. Hey.
Dude, I used to get gigged in the 90s when we were touring. I bought one of the reissued Dan Electros because the feedback was so awesome. You just hit a chord and the feedback would instantly kick in. Oh, like a choir. It was insane. So I'd use it on certain songs just to get that feedback. It was just crazy good. Yeah, 90s reissue, like around 96 or something, 97. Killer. Played it through a Mesa single rectifier head. It was dope. But that was also when I would play a Hawaiian steel guitar. It was a Gibson Laps steel guitar with stand.
Mm-hmm.
And our intro to our band was me with a slide on that going through distortion. Whatever, like 10 freaking strings on it or something, just going, wah! Bringing up this slide. And it was freaking awesome, dude. Through a distortion. Marshall Governor, in fact. Yeah.
Very cool.
Got to get creative.
That's still on my wish list as a lap steel or a pedal steel of some kind.
My dad played them, so there was always a bunch around the house. And he had this old vintage 50s one. It was just one freaking guitar. It wasn't a double neck.
Yeah.
Stands, and it had these big freaking massive Gibson pickups in it. That through a distortion pedal, just doing wild shit, was just off the hook.
Perfect.
Yeah. Always wanted to get one of my dad's guitars out there, and I did. That was the main purpose. It was purely for an intro, though. It wasn't in the songs. It was just an intro of wildness.
Trev showing his bias. He says, that said, there's a reason he likes Explorer shapes. Hashtag Papa Het. And he says, did we mention the Dean ML? Though, yeah, you just did. That is all that. Yeah, he and I, we went down that rabbit hole a week or two ago, looking at Dean MLs, trying to find one reasonably priced. That the modern ones, forget it. The modern ones are fan fret with a Kaler. I'm like, nope.
Well, now with the Dean and Gibson thing, there's going to be a whole lot of opportunities for that style of guitar, isn't there, with Dean?
Yep.
That's a lot of guitar. I've picked up a few of them, and when you hold it in your hands, it's a monster.
I like it. Oh, buddy of mine, he used to play hardtail ones. Once I strapped it on, it just felt like a Les Paul to me. Just with a lot of extras hanging off a Les Paul. You know? Michael Kress says, I have an 8-string lap steel. I'm lost on it. I also have a PV power slide. Please don't judge me. Oh, I'm judging, Mike. I'm judging.
No, I was lost on the lap steels, man, and the pedal steels with the pedals on the bottom. My dad had them all set up.
I know it's all voodoo to me, but I want to learn it so bad.
Voodoo. He'd get on there and play these like Hawaiian stuff or country riffs.
Yeah, it's like, what are you tuned to? C6? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, got the knee pedals and the foot pedals.
Yeah, knee bars, foot pedals, and volume pedal, and you got to use both hands, both feet, and a knee or two.
That Gibson one, the Gibson was raw. It was 50s, and it was literally one lump.
Right.
Freaking.
That was like Rich had for service years ago. It was a 50s Fender. It's just a 6-string. You just tuned it to open G.
Right.
With a lap steel, but you could put legs on it. And I was like, that's what I'll start with, just something like that, which is like the modern day glitches.
One lump and 4 legs. That was it. No pedals, none of that crap.
Yeah. People are mentioning Kelly-shaped objects, sure, which is just a slimmed down Explorer in many ways, I think.
Baby Explorer.
It's very nice, but does it come in a men's? No. That's the Gibson 339.
Dude, so Analog Man's shipping 2018 orders right now. So 6 freaking years. That's nuts. I had a Princeton. That was pretty killer. They all have a sound, you know what I mean? They all have that, and it's so subtle between them. But the Princeton was cool.
Nice. Ben says, I'd really like to join you guys one podcast. I collect and build Franken-axes in New Zealand. I'm currently working on guitar number 31. Oh, cool. Reach out to me, or become a channel member, see some of that collection on one of our Water Buffalo meetings. And those generally turn into appearances on shows. If folks haven't noticed a trend, they get hanging with you guys, get to know you guys in these Zoom hangs. And next thing you know, let's do shows together and have fun. I don't do a lot of stuff with the Franken-axes just because I used to do a show with the Eddie Expert and been there, done that in many ways. I send that off to Fruitcake Tony. He's the expert on that channel. Oh, thank you, Trev, with gifted membership. Earl Kodai was gifted membership.
That's nice.
I have guests every week, Ben. Every Sunday night I have a guest. Monday nights is me playing in Bad Album covers with Charles, assuming he's alive. When's the next meeting? Well, it was yesterday, Donnie. It was the last one. So the next one will be the first Saturday in August, which will be, I don't know when that one is. August 4th. Saturday, nope, 3rd. Well, that's not this coming Saturday, but the next Saturday. Saturday, August 3rd. Right, Charles? Sure, he says. Yeah, exactly. Analog Man could do something crazy like hire another builder. That's true. But he's probably still doing mods, too. You were Aruba.
He's busy as hell, man.
You are, Alex. And Charles says, sure. Yeah, he sounds super enthusiastic about it. Sure. We discussed it yesterday, Charles. I'm just saying. I hope you're feeling better soon. Hip says the cases are huge. Yeah, way bigger than Gibby case. Yeah, the Kelly cases, yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons, Hip, I want a DNML with a hard shell case. How big's that case?
Oh, man, that'd be huge.
Right? Trev says, where's the JJ Jr.?
It's right here. That's what it became. Dude, it just wasn't getting used. You know, for me, the 20-watt amps, I'm really at rehearsal rooms just cranking the hell out of amps, 50-watt, 100-watt. And I love that amp because I'm a Jerry Cantrell freak. But no, I went snowboarding with my kid, and we were coming down the hill after snowboarding one weekend. And we stopped in a guitar center at the bottom of the hill, and they had those American Pro 2s. They had 2 of them on clearance for $11.99.
What? That's like half price.
Yeah, and they ended up giving me like $900 on the JJ. So I was like, damn, let's do it. Yeah. I got a guitar center I go to. I know the people who work there. So they always put me in the top tier on trading because they know it's good gear. They know it's got minimal hours. You know, other guys, their tiers are really critiqued. But, yeah, my guy, he goes, they don't even hear it. They know it's good. And they stuck me on the top tier. I got good money. And fuck, I just traded it. Put a little bit of cash. I might have traded something else. I generally trade other things so I don't have to do cash.
Right. Yeah, I'm the same way when I deal with Long McQuaid. The bare minimum, they're like, hey, what are you doing for a down payment? I'm like, this pedal. Like, okay.
Yeah, fortunately, I got a lot of my stuff way back in the day, you know, and for reasonable prices. So when I trade up, I normally do pretty good.
Totally get it, Charles. And Lawrence wants to cut. He says, I have a Dean ML. No, 08 Dymo Flame. Nice, made in Korea. It's later than I expect. I didn't wait yet, but it's comfortable. Nice. And All Day, All Night reports in 2 ML cases per pickup truck bed. And that's the long box, too. Just saying. Just saying.
What's a modded Boss E3? What's the E3? You are Boss nut, Ben. What's the E3?
E3?
No, I don't know the E3.
EQ. I did love that amp, Trev. Yeah, I think that'll be the modded EQ from Analog Man. He does an modded Boss EQ. But yeah, everyone should have because Uncle Larry. There's BC Rich, right there.
I think the mod just gets rid of the hum, though, doesn't it? It gets rid of the noise.
Yes,
I think that's all it does.
Yeah, yeah, it just makes it less noisy.
Uncle
Larry's all about having one of those Boss EQs on his board too, to use as a lead boost or re-EQ his guitar to make it sound like a different guitar. And is that another rabbit hole I need to go down? Certainly hope not.
We actually used that whole technique in this recording this time round because I watched that Larry show and I'm like, hell, I'm sticking it because I got the EQ. I used to use it a different way, but I ended up doing exactly what he did, put it at the end of the chain. And it was a bit woolly or something in the mix or something for that track. Fucking add it up or take it out super quick. Yeah, so yeah, thumbs up on that one. Thank you, Larry.
Go figure, a guy that's been on like 1,000 records, has.
Dude, a lot of things. You got to love Larry. I've been in so many studios, and one other thing I really took on this time was not playing too hard because I get right in the moment and I'm fucking digging in. And when you're tracking, it's about you don't want to bend your strings out of tune, and you want to. It's a really fine balance to have the excitement and the perfect take. And so I really took that on board when I was seeing myself hammering. I'd be like, I'd just be a little softer in my playing and really more articulate. And
what's up, legend?
Yeah. Again, thank you, Larry.
What's up, legend?
The year of the EQ. I always used a EQ, generally the 10-band MXR in the loops of high gain. So I've always been there, but putting one in the front like that, more dime bag style to carve your tone, awesome.
Yeah, I just
awesome.
Never really got into for whatever reason. Even though I have an EQ sitting right over here.
I was just going to say, but you got a pedal sitting there doing nothing, didn't you? Dude, stick it in there. Freaking loves it.
Yeah. Not a Boss one, though.
You got the extra drive on it as well with the output. You can drive that output, and it gives a nice bit of gain. An EQ will really replace the drive pedal. You can use that Boss EQ or an MXR and dial in a drive.
Early in your chain, like I'd probably put it right after my compressor, so I can use it to boost the other pedals as well. Scoop tone. I never thought I'd be using a compressor as an always on, but I am. But not like super compressed or anything. It's mild, but it's always there, and it does a thing to the tone. Sounds awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, right on, Blue Morks. Absolutely. Yeah, feeling fast because you know the parts, and it's just having more control within them parts. When
Yeah.
you're really when you're recording and you start with the drums, you try and get the perfection of the drums, then you lay the bass. Everything's perfectly in tune. Everything's on the money. Then you've got to play on the money with some kind of vibe in it. That's the balance, you know, and having that feel, knowing when you're in that pocket, because you're working, you know, what you're putting up against is already money. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's trip. Yeah, feeling fast with no pressure.
You know, more people are
Ease
commenting on the boss. I'm like,
Because my main thing's putting
Boom.
strings out of tune.
I don't have room, but I guess I'll have to. I could remove one of my phasers off my board. I guess I don't need two phasers on the board, but I kind of like having two phasers on the board.
Yeah, it makes a sound, you know, because phases are different.
Well, and I run one pre-gain and one post-gain because they act differently, right? Vastly differently. So
I got this one, which I love. One of the OG ones, the Super Phaser.
oh yes,
And I always had it on the second position, and I would crank the rate, and when you hit on it, it sounded like the Space Invaders just went do 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 do.
Right.
So you can get this mad freaking effect with it. It's freaking dope.
I currently am using a Keeley
Space Invaders.
Keeley Custom Shop vintage phaser. Is my main phaser. That thing is just incredible. Dan uses a MXR10 band.
Yeah. Very quiet. They are very quiet. I got one of them. The dope. EQs are insane, dude. And I also have an ME Effects PQ3. It's their version of a PQ3, which was the who made that? Furman.
Right.
Yeah, Furman PQ3 from the 70s, which was a staple in Dimebag's rig, but they came out with a pedal version, and that thing, you can each individual frequency could add gain to it, or you know, the bandwidth of it, and cut and carve. Dude, that pedal's insane. Yeah, a pedal version of a PQ3.
Cheech asked, you guys ever hear of a Boss Power Stack pedal? Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I've
never heard it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, I know of it. Have I watched a demo on that? I think I have seen demos on it. I always go with Boss for my game pedal.
I thought Power Supply bounced off it. I always thought, I think when years ago.
I know I'm not big on Boss's gain pedals too much, but
they have a sound though, man. If you're looking for a sound, you just hit that boop, and there it is. There's the sound. Be it a bumblebee sound or whatever, but it will give you the sound if it's in your head you're after. I've always loved Boss pedals.
I have quite a few, and I've owned more. That's a fraction of what I've owned over the years, but
Boss Tremolo is one of my favorites. That's always been a killer pedal.
Yeah, I still like. I got my Super Overdrive. I got
you got an original CE2, haven't you?
As well. I got a Turbo Overdrive. I got a Turbo Distortion. I got a Flanger, Phaser. I got a CE2 chorus because that thing's killer. You know, you can never get rid of a CE2.
No.
Right, the Power Stack's the emulator of the Marshall. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, see now if I'm gonna go for a Marshall in a box, I'm using Lawrence's 87. You know,
dude, if you're gonna go for a Marshall in a box, just get a freaking Marshall, dude. You can't. It's just something else. They have a sound.
What they do. Unbelievable's just going to be loving this because there's so much EQ talk in my chat. I know how he just loves that. People talking where they're running it. They're EQ pedals. Yeah, I think I would run mine up front.
The in the loop is so different to up front. I mean, up front is it's retuning your pickups, isn't it?
Right. And that way I'm hitting pedals too, And like, when you run up front, it's more for the level because as opposed to run single coils, as opposed to humbuckers, you can use it to boost up the signals if you're switching to a weaker pickup set. Yeah, I know. You love it for me. Yeah, I know, Chris. I know.
The Bukovac says the end of the chain in the front, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's where they run it. That's where the session guys run it.
I don't know. I don't know if Bukovac even really uses effects loops because he's usually playing into like an old.
None of those guys do it. None of those guys. No one wants to mess with effects loops.
No. Just run everything in
the front, old school sounds, bang, there it is.
Yep. Clean.
You don't need if you're running a clean sound, you don't need an effects loop.
Yeah. Like he said on the Beato interview there, he's like, yep, just give me a clean amp with a shit ton of headroom. I'll get all my gain from my pedals.
Yeah.
It's like, yep, I'm the same way.
For certain pedals, they just really work different in the loop. I've got my one of my God, what is the pedal? It's a reverb pedal. Digitech. Killer Digitech reverb. But it has has the halo setting on it.
Right.
And in the front, you don't quite get that same effect in the loop. That halo, you can get it to wash across the back for like a soundscape. And God, sure. It's insane in the loop. You can't get the same sound in the front. Yeah, it's like, what Digitech, one of the reverbs, killer reverb. Recommended from Dave Friedman.
That'd be the Polara.
That's it, the Polara. That halo setting's freaking gnarly. They were the first to do it, and then there's halo freaking everywhere, But that
scary thing, JJ, I haven't used delay in months.
Delay's a trippy one, man.
Yep. I got out of it. Like I'll use a slapback once in a while, but that's it. But no, I got a halo on the board. Don't use it because I just use a big plate reverb instead.
Yeah, reverb and delay don't mix that well together. It's a sound, but it's just so.
Yeah, so I picked a lane and I decide I want reverb instead of delay.
Cheech, yes, I do play an acoustic. We have an acoustic on one of the new songs, and damn, it sounds amazing. Yeah, trying to get that kind of outside stained vibe on this one song. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's a 1971 Yamaha FG acoustic.
Nice.
Yeah, vintage one. The thing sounds like a monster.
Old Yamahas are amazing.
Frets are dead up high, but
New Yamahas
down in the cowboy chords, man. Dude, this thing sounds freaking gnarly. Right. The richer sound. Yeah. So, yes, do play. I grew up on acoustic. I mean, I've had many acoustics. I love acoustic. Great for working ideas and parts out on and songwriting.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I'm stoked that we got an acoustic on this recording. Stoked.
Easy there, Matt. Yeah, all the delays and all the whammy. The guy's got 2 whammy pedals on his board. 2, folks. And he's playing baritone guitars through, which I don't understand why he plays baritone tuned down to drop, I don't know, everything, and then he's all hitting squawks up the other way, so it just counteracts each other. He played me some stuff the other night. It was interesting. Dissonance. He's into this dissonance. I'm like, oh, okay. This is speaking of the 90s. Oh, around here, dissonant was huge in the early 90s alt music scene, and I was
Discords, just where it's just slightly off.
Yeah,
I love it. I live in that realm.
I know
the overtones, the dissonant overtones, freaking dope.
Mark Murray replaced his delay with a 3rd chorus vibrato. Nice. Mike Rose owns 3 whammy pedals. Okay, I don't. Tom, M valve element, great value for delay flavors. Nice. I went down a Keeley rabbit hole the last couple of years, and that's where I'm getting most of my sounds from. Also, doesn't hurt that I have a discount on them, so that helps too.
Awesome pedals.
Yeah. You too can save 15%. Use coupon code Canucks at TesiSwitch.com for all your Earthquaker or Keeley pedals. So I've bought both there.
Right on Guitar Man 45. Nice. Yeah. There's something. The acoustic sound through a PA sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, McCollum music. Got to sound like a horror soundtrack. Yeah, I love vibes in tunes, man.
Right.
Yeah, I took a whammy. I've got my whammy up at the studio right now for the recording. We haven't used it yet. You get it out and you're like, where is this thing going to fit?
Right.
But for the sub-octave, it works killer. Might get it in for that. And with a tremolo and a whammy together, it's quite a cool effect as well.
Richard Clark, just tying it all together. If I take enough lewds, I don't need my delay sometimes.
Yeah, no kidding.
That is funny. Nice, folks. Well, we'll go a little bit longer here. Had some great questions and comments coming on thus far. Chief says, you guys into Tech 21 fly rig effects pedal? I can't do a multi-effects only because I like my drives from one company, my modulation from another company. I'm picky. I just can't. Although I like the idea of them. You know, I know both Richie Kotzen and Geddy Lee were both big on them.
Dude, I'm sure they're dope. I haven't played through one, but I see a lot of hype on them.
Tech 21 Sand is just awesome. There's Brother Tom.
I was just thinking of Ben Tom just now, like literally a couple of minutes ago. I'm looking for him in the chat. What's up?
Tom picked out the guitar for tomorrow night's show. So just saying, folks. First guitar I'll be playing tomorrow night is Tom's pick. So
phase before whammy. Do love a phaser.
Oh yeah. Bo says he's always using the Helix and the Fractal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my Helix is always in the mix. Been using it a lot in the studio, and I use it live all the time. Thing's freaking dope.
Chorus is great with acoustic. I agree. A little chorus on vocals isn't bad either at times. That's an 80s thing. Of course, chorus on
everything. Now you hear chorus on a lot of vocals. You hear so many effects on the vocals these days. A bit of phaser on the vocals is nice as well.
Mm-hmm.
Lane Staley did that all the time.
Right. Hobo asks, anyone know the Astral Toneworks in Calgary? I'm not aware. I'll check that out. I'm always up for checking out Canadian content. Not aware. I'll check them out. Hey, much love back to you, Ben. Thanks, Terry, again, for putting links in for JJ's channel and the band's channel right there.
Yeah, new songs coming, man.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone in LA, if you're in the area, you want a ticket, hit me up. I've got tickets for you for the Whiskey Show, August 24th. Gonna rock the head out of it.
Maybe right there, Cheech. It's pretty much for me. Alice in Chains and Soundgarden, those two bands.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I didn't realize how much stuff. It's like sort of like when I would hear you play, JJ, just noodling around. You know, I can hear some Jerry stuff, right, as an influence. Kenneth Thiel, such an influence on my playing. It's just I realize it more and more every day.
Incredible
There's
player.
Garguts.
Yeah, Garguts, what up? You just getting up? Garguts.
Guitar Man 45. I got the Boss GT 1000 and the Headrush Primes, but not used them. You have everything. You have all the options by the sounds of things there. Anything there? I don't think I did.
Lots of Allison's Chains love. You gotta love it, man.
Of course. Got to.
What a voice. I'm getting a refill. I'll be back.
Sounds good. We'll grab a refill and then we'll probably wrap things up, folks. There's one of the cats still outside and it's dark out. Not good when you have coyotes in the neighborhood. Oh, there you go. Snap, crackle, pop. I won't, Bo. I won't. Nobody mentioned it. Mark would like to hit the whiskey at some point in his life as a bucket list item. Sure. You like that Rivera cab? I bet you do. Set the lights in the cab. Can I play when I will get copywritten if I do that? Blue Mox. Had I thought that in advance, I could have done the demonetized, but I don't want the video to get blocked. Which happened last week's show with Charles. Part of it got blocked. A little different with Aaron's band because he sends me the raw file that I'm able to upload myself, and as opposed to playing from another YouTube channel. What's up, Keith? See you tomorrow. Joe says, Chris Cornell, man, first time hearing his voice for Temple of Dog on the radio. For me, it was the video for Loud Love, which I was like, what's with the feedback? I was like, oh, that's cool. So I was a fan of Kim right off the bat. And then all of a sudden, Chris comes out with his duct tape shorts. Yep. And Doc Martens. And goes, I'm just coming in with the feedback. I'm just, who are these guys? And then I got all dizzy because they had a weird video that was swirly cameras and stuff. And I was hooked as well. First time I heard Soundgarden, hooked. Tom, so would a modulation effect be affected by a whammy down? No, not necessarily, because it's just like playing a different note on the neck. Modulation's still the same. Now, if you put an expression pedal into the modulation effect, you can usually do things like affect the time, so you can then almost modulate up and down the pitch as well. James Hawking asks, do you ever use your BBE Sonic Maximizer much?
Yeah, not that much. With the rack effects units, when I'm down here noodling, coming up, getting on a tone chase, then yeah, it comes out. It definitely makes a huge difference. You'd feel it more live. Used them back in the day, and it just adds a beefiness. People say it's got like this digital sound to it, but I don't hear it, man. You press the button and the bass comes alive, and it's just fucking huge. Love that thing, but don't use it much. Love my rack gear. It's just time to freaking, noodle with it. When I'm not recording and we're not rehearsing all the time, I'm freaking noodling and just constantly playing. I'll get all the different things running, and it'll get plugged in.
Blue Mox, she must get really drunk on Taco Tuesdays. Just saying. And Bo says, just use bass pedals for that huge sound. It's different.
Yeah, it's a different sound, isn't it? It's like using a sub in your system. Like PB bought that sub out, didn't they?
Mark asks, have you been able to catch a Soul Savages show at the Whiskey? I haven't heard of them.
I'm going to have to look them up. I've never even heard of them. You know them, Ben?
I don't. I'm not aware.
No. We'll check them out, Mark.
Yeah.
Soul Savages. I'm going to put them in my thing now so I can watch them after the show. I'm always hearing new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Soul Savages. What have we got going on here? Robbie Krieger and the Soul. Okay, yeah. They played a couple of months ago. I remember seeing they were up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he played. I've seen his name appear at the Whiskey a few times.
There's Tom standing there with his member milestone message.
I think we almost got to play with them at the Coach House. They have a lot of them kind of older school bands coming through.
Right.
And I think we had a potential to play on that show at some point.
Well, and apparently this is coming in from Trev. He says Blue Mox inspired these burgers, so we got to show them off. Oh, they look
pretty good.
Damn, Trev. Now I'm hungry. All right.
Soul Savages.
He's like, burgers are done. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, time for it. Hell yeah, baby. I like that, Tom.
Eddie Fay, you rock. Dude. Helps me control my crazy brain and keep me somewhat sane and stops me smoking cigarettes is what it does.
Right.
Yeah. Tuning is...
It'd be even larger if I lived in his neighborhood. Jesus. Crazy. Well, we'll go a couple more minutes here, folks. So if you have any last questions, get them on in. Get
some questions. I'm going to get my other vape now. He's reminded me.
There we go.
Bo and Don.
Yeah, it worked, Bo. Look at that. Member for 4 years, folks. 4 years. You too can click the join button to do cool things like that message that Bo did. Yeah, there's Jeff K. Oh, excuse me. Jeff K. Hope all's well in the OC.
Yeah.
I'm about 45 minutes to an hour away from Sandbanks. Geez, that's over in Prince Edward County, south of me. Oh, young Mr. Radford gifted a membership. Yeah, Michael Krause snagged up said membership.
Right on.
See, just Mike Krause when you thought you're pulled you back in again. You can't get away from it. Hey, Knees. Good to see you. He says I made 50 pierogi today. Woo. That's a big meal. I hope you froze some of those.
Oh, Cody, Gazaris. No way, man. No, that's been shot since, I think, mid-90s. Dude, I saw Judas Priest there. They rolled up in a limousine when we were all in there. And they rocked out. It was awesome. Yeah, I used to see Vince Neil in there in the 80s back in the day. He'd put up in his freaking Lambo. Yeah, Gazaris was the hit, man. We used to go in there and get into craziness. That was the place if you wanted to go snowboarding.
Sister's doing well.
Yeah, I think after Gazaris, it was freaking Ricky Rackman's place, wasn't it? The Cat House. Yeah, I saw a lot of bands at Gazaris back in the day. In the 80s, 86, 87. I've been here a long time in America, man. I came and left. I was here in the 80s. It was a wild time. Didn't know nothing about some of the scene here. And I walked into this place I was going to stay in, Van Halen. God, what was the freaking song? Cranking it on MTV. And that was like, dude, I'm in a different world. And it was all Metallica and Megadeth and just craziness. Good times. I saw Guns N' Roses and Great White in this little freaking industrial freaking warehouse somewhere in LA at one point. Yeah, it was nuts. Good times. But Gazaris, yeah.
Nice.
Stumbled out of there a few times.
There we go, folks. So again, anybody that's in the LA area, if you're watching on replay, hit up JJ for tickets.
Tickets, come to the fucking show. We're gonna rock it, man. Jesus Jones. Might have to tame down the we got a good set going, man. It's gonna be
you just bring out you got the EQ pedal, you just bring out the lows just to talk. Local Larry style.
We got some really heavy songs though, and it's like you can't do that at that show. So we're gonna be a little mellower.
Yep.
Get to the crowd. It's gonna be a good show.
Awesome. Well, it's always a pleasure having you on, brother. I love this.
Thank you, Ben. It's awesome, dude.
Always.
Yeah, I'm always lurking all the shows. I lurk all the shows. Just haven't been in the chat so much these days. But I'm always around. I love it.
I do the same myself quite often. So on that,
you've
been us, you've been you, and of course, hold those doors open.
Originals, brother.
All originals. Yep. You know, let Unfucking Believable in the Heady and traffic. And Doug's voice is real.
Yeah, Ben.
I'll be back tomorrow night with Canucks with Guitars, and then we got some demos coming out this week. All kinds of cool and nifty stuff. So stay tuned. If you haven't already, you made it to the end of the thing, subscribe. Just saying. And don't litter.
Yeah, find us on Instagram and Facebook, Star Zero. Try and give us some likes and some subs. Try and build that shit up. It's a hard old struggle.
Perfect.